Hi, I'm David the Fishing Pastor, and today I want to talk to you about how to be a more successful bank fisherman. So even though I have a kayak, at heart, I'm a bank fisherman. It's where I started and where I learned how to fish for bass. And I know that being a bank fisherman is not always the easiest thing, and we want to get out in the water, but there are a few things that you can do to ensure that you are a more successful bank fisherman. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is just simply time itself, and understanding that as a bank fisherman, you have to take advantage of every opportunity you can get. I know that getting up early can be difficult and tiring, but choosing the right time can definitely increase your effectiveness as a bank fisherman. So whether you decide to go early in the morning or late in the evening, there are two huge benefits to choosing the right time to go fishing. Number one, during the morning hours and the evening hours, the bass tend to be more shallow and more active, as opposed to midday when they'll move off of the bank and they'll go into deeper water, and then it's more difficult to catch them as a bank fisherman. The second thing is, as you go early or late, there tend to be less people out on the water, and so there's less pressure on the fish. So let me talk to you about gear really quick, because you can definitely bring every rod, reel, and tackle box that you have, but I wouldn't really recommend it, considering you're probably going to be doing some walking and you're going to have to carry all of that gear. Instead, I'd recommend maybe 2 to 3 different setups that you can use to fish multiple lures and baits to be as effective as you can in any situation. So let me quickly talk to you about the new KastKing Para G2 rods, because these are definitely some of the coolest rods I have ever seen. You essentially get 2 rods in one when you get the 2-piece rods. And what's cool about this is, as any 2-piece rod, it comes apart, but you get 2 tips with this rod. Now the interesting thing about this is that each tip is a different action. So the one that's currently on the rod right now is a medium heavy, and the one that's in my hand is a medium, so I can bring one rod and fish multiple lures because I essentially have 2 rods in one. The last thing about gear is really considering spooling up your reels with some braided line. That way you can tie on leaders if you need to, or you can take off leaders if you need to, and it'll just maximize your efficiency, as again, you have less setups with you and you want to be able to fish multiple lures and baits on these setups. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the approach. Now it's important that you don't go running and stomping to your spot just because you see it and you're really excited. So I'd recommend slowly and calmly approaching your spot. Now you don't have to be a total ninja about this and be super quiet, but definitely running and jumping on the spot is not the way to go. These fish can be very sensitive to vibrations and noise, and definitely seeing you will cause those fish to leave that bank. So I'd even recommend standing off of the bank a little bit and starting your fishing from there. Okay, so the last couple of things, when it comes to the fishing itself, we have a tendency to want to come out and just bomb a cast as far out into the middle of the water as we possibly can. But really one of the best things that we can do as bank fishermen is actually just fish the bank, fish parallel to the bank. Look for structure, look for cover, logs, trees, anything you can find in the water, and you'll actually find a lot of times that that's where the fish are. So the second thing to that is, if you actually go out deep first and you end up hooking a fish, now you have to bring that fish all the way back to the bank, and you disturb everything between where you originally hooked that fish and the bank, decreasing your chances of catching another fish. So the last thing is called fan casting, and this is one of the best things you could do to cover water as a bank fisherman. What you want to do is start parallel to the bank, like I said, and then make your way out in a fan-like pattern. And again, this will help you cover as much water as possible in a very short amount of time. Using something like a crankbait, something that's moving fast, this is going to help you cover a large amount of water, and like I said, in a very short amount of time, and then you can move on to a new spot if nothing is biting. Okay, so if you're a bank fisherman at heart like me, or you're a bank fisherman because you have no other choice, I really hope that this helps you become a more successful bank fisherman. If you're interested in any of the gear that was mentioned in this video, it's going to be linked in the description below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and also to pray, fish, repeat. God bless. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.